Well, we've put this off as long as we can. Here we go. It's time for Paralogue 23, The Radiant Hero. A title that probably won't make sense to you unless you've played Smash Brothers, which actually came out after this game. So, I'll explain the title once we get to it. So, apparently there's a hidden village in this Garden of Giants, but, well, it's very, very heavily guarded. So, the Radiant Hero, as you can tell here, is a title. Who does it refer to? Well, if you know the titles of earlier Fire Emblem games, you'll probably know.
Huh?
So yeah, what do we know about this Radiant Hero?
Right.
He's an unparalleled warrior from another world. And he felled thousands with the Divine Blade blessed by... Hang on a second. Okay, now, if this Radiant Hero comes from where he says he comes from, this line is a little suspect if you've played those games. Let's just say that the Goddess Ashera should be going by another name at this point. But I don't want to get into that anymore because it's huge spoilers. So anyway, the Radiant Hero is referring to Ike from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, and you'll know that if you play Smash Brothers. You probably won't know that if you don't play Smash Brothers, because for some stupid reason, Ike's epilogue title was completely removed from the English version of Radiant Dawn for no apparent reason. Now, I don't know why this is the case, but yeah, apparently... Yeah, the translation team just forgot about it, so they completely excised all references to Ike even having a title. That was a problem for them when Ike's title became a plot point here, so they had to hastily make one up for him. Thankfully, both of Ike's games had Radiance in their titles, so Radiant Hero made a lot of sense. In the Japanese version, this title is Hero of the Blue Flames. The Blue Flames referring to Path of Radiance's Japanese title, The Path of Blue Flames, and the fact that Leran's medallion, that universe's incarnation of the Fire Emblem, basically had glowy blue flames around it. And yeah, if you're wondering why in Smash 4 the flames on Ike's Great Aether Final Smash are blue, that's why. It's from his Japanese title.
I see.
So apparently he has a descendant, and this descendant possibly lives around here. If his descendant has even a tenth of Ike's skill, he would be pretty amazing, because Ike is still, in my opinion, one of the best lords in the Fire Emblem series in terms of pure stats. I mean, he's kind of ridiculously powerful. Not to mention he was the original Aether user. And, hey, this guy suddenly appeared, and, well, he certainly does look a lot like Ike, so I guess that means that, yep, this is him. Of course, Crom's never seen Ike, so he can't really tell the resemblance with Priam. So yeah, this is Priam, the final one of the Spot Pass Paralogue characters, and the only one who we have never seen before. I still blacked him out in the video thumbnail just for consistency's sake, but yeah, I didn't really need to because we've never actually seen him before. Now, Priam is kind of interesting. Being the only Spot Pass Paralogue character who we've never actually seen before, his existence for a long time was actually, very few people even knew about him until this paralogue was actually revealed. The only hint that this guy even existed was his name in the voice acting part of the credits. So that was the only thing that clued people into who this guy was. In fact though, people were able to figure out who he was pretty easily just from his name, but only in the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, this guy's name is Paris. Yeah, for some reason they changed one Trojan War reference for a different Trojan War reference. Then again, Paris is kind of a whiny wimp, so it makes sense that a superpowered warrior would not have his name. But there was actually a very good reason this guy was named Paris in the Japanese version. It's actually a very obscure joke in Fire Emblem lore. Basically, in a very early alpha build of Path of Radiance, Ike's name was Paris. So yeah, that was originally going to be Ike's name, and so they named his descendant that as a joke.
Really?
Of course, then we get into the whole massive controversy over the fact that Ike even has a descendant. Yeah. I'm gonna talk more about this in his character bio. Yeah, I'm spoiling the fact that he's recruitable, but why would they introduce him if he wasn't? So yeah. The whole thing with Priam is, I feel really bad for him. He's a character that gets a massive ton of hate, but unlike characters like Sumia, that hate stems from reasons that don't relate to them as a character at all. The only reason Priam is hated is for what he potentially says about Ike. And yeah, again, I'm not going to go into this too much, but basically let's just say the fact that Ike even has a descendant, a lot of people were annoyed about this simply because Ike was the only Fire Emblem main character who was maybe possibly implied to be gay. But yeah, we have come all the way just to enlist him.
Got it.
Unfortunately, yeah, he's going all wild hard on us and wants to fight him to prove our worth.
Prove it and see.
It's actually a little ironic for people who played Path of Radiance. Priam's philosophy is scarily similar to Ashnard, the very character that his ancestor Ike sought to take down at any cost. So, it's a little weird that Priam actually thinks like this, the whole strength is the only thing that matters. Granted, he's nowhere near as insane about it as Ashnard was, but still. Now, you might notice this absolutely enormous pool of characters that we have here. I'll talk about that in a bit, but first, we've got an interesting map, and wow, those birds were really fast. We've got a few ruins, a few woods around here, not very much cover to hide behind, but we also have an absolute crap ton of enemies here. If you look here, we have 50 unaffiliated enemies. 50. And they're all arranged into these patterns. I think one of these looks like a crown. One of these, this kind of looks like Lucina's mask, which is weird because Priam probably shouldn't know about that. And this one, I'm not entirely sure. And then as for your formation, I don't know, these formations always feel to me like they're meant to be indicating something, but I don't really see it. Anyway, as you can tell though, these enemies are very, very powerful. Just look at the strength stats on these generals. These heroes, pretty insane, but it's mostly notable with the Swordmasters. They all have max strength, skill, and speed. Ouch. Not only that, but the enemies here all have a ton of skills. Most of them will have their best skills, like Pavis, Rally Defense, Axebreaker, Soul. We've got a couple of snipers with longbows here, and ridiculous skill stats, meaning they'll nearly always hit us. And some warriors. And some pretty powerful sages with Tome Fair. The warriors are some of the more annoying enemies in this chapter though, because, well, like always, when there are warriors, there is counter. Let me just check. Okay, no counter. No counter. I'm actually getting kind of lucky here. But it's this batch of warriors that I'm most worried about, because I'm going to send some overpowered people over here. No, you have counter. Okay, only one warrior had counter. That's good, that's insanely lucky actually, and I think I'll be going with this setup. I'll just need to watch out for you. I've got my eye on you, Mr. Counter Warrior. I'm not going to let you kamikaze yourself into me. These sages, though, are really, really annoying as well, because they are very powerful and have strong forged tomes. So anyway, huge amount of incredibly powerful enemies. This chapter was basically designed for a party that has reclassed several times. Because this came out a long time after the game originally, like a few months after the game originally came out, so yeah, this chapter was meant for people who still needed a challenge even after they'd been grinding a lot. And speaking of a challenge, here's Priam himself. He has max strength, skill, speed, and defense. He also has Swordbreaker, Lancebreaker, Axebreaker, Luna, and Soul. And he has enormous activation rates on those skills as well. 47% chance of either healing damage or halving your defense. And maxed HP as well, and he also has Ragnall. Ragnall, Ike's legendary weapon that you again might know if you play Smash Brothers. It is a 1-2 range sword that's very powerful and gives +4 defense. Now, the version of Ragnall that Priam has as an enemy, it's just like Ike's version from Path of Radiance. It has infinite durability. So, that is, well, yeah, pretty insane. Anyway, again, he only seeks greater power. It's kind of scary just how much his philosophy resembles Ashnod's. So yeah, he has a unique palette as a hero, and Ragnall certainly looks like it used to. Another thing about Priam is his map sprite is weirdly enough based on female hero map sprites, not male hero map sprites. So that's kind of interesting. And he's also got a secret book and a goddess icon. Those are just what we'll get for beating him, but beating him is the real question. Speaking of which, beating this chapter is also the real question. Now, this chapter gives you a whopping 30 deployment slots. So you're free to go all out here and use pretty much everybody you've been training throughout the entire game. You name it, pretty much you can use them. You have pretty much free reign. It's pretty awesome. I love the fact that you just get to deploy so many characters, and that's just so fun, just going completely all out with an enormous army like this. Unfortunately, though, without this kind of ridiculous grinding that you're expected to have done by now, my army is not quite strong enough to really pull this off. Because of this, I'm going to do things a little differently. I will deploy as many people as possible, but I'm only going to actually be using a select few characters. Mainly, this chapter is going to be all about Donnie and the rest of his family. Mostly, no. This is why I wanted to grind up Harass support with Gary Stu before this chapter. So yeah, Priam. You want to show no sympathy to us? Fine. You'll get no sympathy from me either. It's dragon time. So, putting Nara and Gary Stu as far forward as I can, and on the other side, I'm going to send Donald and Noe. And really, they're going to be the main people who are going to do the fighting here. Everyone else, well, Olivia's going to be useful for dancing, but everyone else I'm really only going to use for either rallies or just picking off any stragglers that get past these super unbreakable walls of maxed out stats. So, as for who else we're going to bring to this chapter, may as well bring Basilio, Flavia, Brady and Noir have S supports. Definitely bringing Morgan. Wayne and Shell also have S supports. You two also have S supports. And yes, the Severa has maxed the skill. Mary Sue, Rally Spectrum's going to be pretty awesome. Don't think Averse is going to be all that useful, sorry. I want to try her out, at least, like, demo her in at least something, but this is not the chapter to be doing that. This chapter is actually really bad for flyers overall, because, well, so many archers, just not a good idea to bring flyers here. You know what, may as well bring Walhart. He'd certainly like a worthy opponent to fight against. Gregor... Sadly, Gregor's not really all that powerful, so I might want to leave him behind. Shursh and Virion. Well, Virion has rally skill. Pan, who I've started going into an assassin, might as well use her. Vivek and the Cordelia, Rally the Strength is going to be very useful here. Rickan, I want to bring Maribel, so I may as well bring him. Stal and Sully, I guess I might as well bring them. Inigo, yeah, he's the real pair-up partner for Olivia, not Gregor here. Yarn and Lucina. I get this feeling that I'm missing someone. I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I'm definitely missing someone. Because of that, I might have to get rid of you two, and I need to bring Lucina's new husband, or Jerome. Again, like I said, Flyer's not so useful in this chapter, but, yeah... Gonna want to bring her for the pair-up bonuses anyway. Even still, Lucina's not going to be all that useful in this chapter, really. And as for everyone else, okay, yeah, I'm gonna want Maribel for, okay, I have 3 more slots. I'm gonna want Maribel for healing. Definitely want to bring Fortify Staff to this chapter if you can. And on that note, where is Lissa? There you are. You don't have a Fortify Staff. Oh well, I'll probably switch that one over. And, should I bring Gangrel? Might as well bring Emery and Physics Staffs. We're going to need lots and lots of Physics Staffs here. As for everyone else, I kind of like using Yenfei as Walhart's pair-up partner in this chapter, because, why can't they support, really? I mean, granted, Yenfei was only working for him under, yeah, but still, I mean, they're both powerful fighters from Valm. Anyway, that's enough off topic. Alright, where's Kellum, actually? Am I bringing him? Oh, sadly I'm not. Which means I can safely not have Tharia here, and have space for one more character, and that character will be Yenfei. So, now to organize people based on pair-ups, but again, this is mostly going to be organized based on, rallies and, or, just... because we're only going to do a few pair-ups here, so where's Basilio? Well, he must stand next to Flavia. Where is Basilio? Having so many characters makes it very easy to lose track of them here. There's Basilio. I forgot that I made him a berserker now, not a warrior. So you two are going to stand next to each other. You're there, and you're going to go there. Where is Lucina? There she is. Kind of want you to be further up, though. Guess I can switch out Yenfei there. You're next to each other, you're next to each other, except you need to go over there. You need to go next to Yarn, and where is Walmart the Conqueror? There he is. Lissa, I don't think Lissa actually has a pair-up partner here, now that I think about it. Wait a minute, we have 30 characters, of course we... Oh, right, yeah. I guess you can pair up with Emrin, even though they annoyingly can't support. But I'm going to actually need to do a bit of inventory stuff. Like I said, Priam's getting no sympathy from me. And because of that... Celica's Gale, Katarina's Bolt, and Goetia. Yeah, no sympathy from me. Speaking of no sympathy, I also have a cunning plan involving Donald that I actually think is kind of necessary. So, that old bronze axe that he has, that's not going to be really all that useful. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use a bunch of my arm scrolls. 1, 2, and 3. Donald is now at an A with axes, and that gives him a perfect opportunity. Where is it? Hellswath time! And in Donald's hands, I don't need to worry at all about this axe breaking. And it's 1 to 2 range and massively powerful, so this is going to be the weapon that Donnie is going to be using for the majority of this chapter. And as for everyone else, brave weapons are really, really, really good here. You want as many brave weapons as possible, so Shell may as well take a brave lance since I have a lot of those. Anyone else got some... You have a brave weapon... Let's see. You have a brave axe... You have a brave lance, you have a brave lance, and you don't have high enough of a rank to use a brave weapon. Okay, Jerome. Jerome needs to take a brave axe if I have one spare. Yes, I do. And he also needs, yeah, may as well take one of the Hector's axes. Except where is... Okay, Lucy's over there. Sometimes I like her going over here to ether a few of these generals, but even she's kind of just not really all that powerful for this point in the game. Okay, finally it's time to do this. Here we go. No conversations at all either. Oh yeah, and fans of Path of Radiance are gonna be fangasming when they hear this music. Particularly this bit. Now, if I am moving Jerome, I just need to be careful that he's not in range of any of these guys. I don't think he is, actually. But I think he's only in range of one of the generals if he goes there. I mean, no harm in just going over here and equipping the Batarang 2.0, but my main destination is to stick Donald on these woods there and just have him destroy everything. Speaking of destroying everything, step 2 in destroying everything, nah. She can't quite reach the enemies though, so at the moment I'm just going to go equip Katarina's Bolt, equip that, and for this side, I don't want to go too far in, because, okay, here's the thing with the enemies in this chapter. This is the main reason why I am just wanting to be a bit cautious here. Basically, the enemies in this chapter... Okay, who needs rallies more? Might as well go over here in case of emergencies. You'll just hang back and defend the healers. So, what the enemies in this chapter basically do is, they love to just pile in on one character and constantly attack until that character dies. That is how the enemies work here. And yeah, as you can see, not even Lucina and Jerome could take that enemy out. Because of that, I find that at least when my characters aren't all massively overpowered, the best way to take on this chapter is just to have one or two powerful pair-ups just destroy everything. That's really the main way I've found that lets me succeed in this chapter. I really wish that I could do this chapter as it was intended, as in just using 30 of your best characters and just going completely to town on everything. But we're not strong enough for that, and I just want to get this chapter out of the way. And so because of that, I feel bad about this, but this is how I'm going to have to do this chapter. Now, I really want Priam to go towards the right side of the map. Because if he goes towards the other side, I am kind of in trouble. Because his caps, as far as the hero class is concerned, as you can see here, are a fair bit better than Donald's. So I would rather he goes over here and has to face Nah. Speaking of which, okay, look, there is an enormous horde of enemies on this side, and that is quite scary. But with Nah and her plus 20 defense from this pair-up, it should hopefully be fine. Just gotta be careful here, because don't want too many enemies to attack us. Or we don't want to lure too many of the enemies away from Nah, basically. So, let's go. Rally Spectrum. Can the Severa get in range for the rallying? Again, I want to make sure that I don't get too many enemies lured away from Nah, because that's who I want most of them going for. And she has no ranged weapon. Well, I'm pretty sure she can just pull one out of the convoy. Convoy, that iron axe, we don't really need that anymore. Miniature lance. Is there a better throwing spear we have? I guess I'll have to equip the miniature lance. Okay, it is 3 spaces, right? Yeah, the Severa can't go and rally strength without actually getting in range of the enemies, and I don't particularly want that. So, we're going to go here and hope that Gary Stu dual strikes and takes out this guy, though he usually misses the Swordmasters for obvious reasons. Now the real battle begins. Or he just fails to kill the Swordmasters because they have very good resistance for some reason. Hey, this warrior's resistance isn't bad either, actually. Equip the Wolfberg. Rally your strength. Now, here is exactly the situation that I want to be in. I want basically everyone here to attack Donald and hopefully get destroyed. It's going to take a while, but it's the safest way I can see of doing this chapter. Yeah, Lucina kind of has a tendency to die against these generals, and I don't really want that, so I'm actually going to pull back. Speaking of pulling back, Olivia's going to pull out just in case the enemies get too close for comfort. And the rest of us are going to be on standby duty here in case anything gets past the Donny blockade. I don't think anyone's been damaged yet, so I don't need to use any of my healers. Okay. Let's just hope that not too many of the enemies go after my people who aren't related to Donald. So this is why I wanted to go with Hellswap here. Also, Sol's going to keep Donny healthy. If I was doing more grinding, and Noe is only paired up just for her stat bonuses, she's not going to be... And Pavis, that's annoying. But thankfully I don't need to worry about Hellswap's durability. And unfortunately, most combat is not going to be using the amazing Path of Radiance remix, and instead it's going to be using this generic Spot Pass and Street Pass theme, which is really annoying, because I would have loved it if, I believe it's called Champion? Yeah, if Champion kept playing throughout this whole chapter. I mean, heck, it's based on the enemy we're fighting more than anything else. And yeah, the best thing about Hellswap is it being 1-2 range. I am so thankful that weapon weight doesn't exist in this game, because otherwise Hellswap would completely murder your speed. Now, I wonder if I'll start seeing, oh no, I'm not actually seeing that quote yet. Characters actually have special quotes for if they get a bad level up, but have most of their stats already maxed out. Which I think is really nice attention to detail. Again, if Noe could actually do damage to these guys, it would be good, but even in Dragon form, she wasn't doing any damage to them. Meanwhile, on the other side, these enemies cannot hurt Nar at all. So I apologize if this chapter gets kind of boring, but it's... And that's why I equip Katarina's bolts.
Hey, thanks.
But yeah, this is going to be basically a Donny and daughter destroy everything thing. Okay, now these heroes are annoying because they have Axe Breaker, so I have terrible accuracy against them. But at least Noe can slightly damage them. So yeah, the heroes are probably the most annoying things here. And also Axe Breaker is the reason why I do not want Priam going for Donny's side. If he does, I might actually have to restart, because only Nar is really strong enough to take him on. Of course, that would have done no damage anyway. Also, Hellswap's bonus of +5 defense is incredibly useful here. Again, as is 1-2 range being really useful against Hutchin. Now, what I was saying was, if I was going really crazy with grinding, I would have actually got Sol on Nar. That would have made her even more indestructible, but for the moment, I'll just settle for it being on Donny. Now, these warriors actually hit really hard. You won't be seeing it here because Donny is amazing, but as for the other characters, yeah, they want to watch out for these warriors because they're pretty tough. Hey, no, we actually got something. Also, Hellswap looks really, really cool. Oh, crap. Yeah, that is exactly the thing that I wanted to avoid. If you had Astrid, that might have been bad. My original plan was actually to block off Mary Sue, so I'm an idiot for not doing that. I was just focusing on rallying Nar as much as possible. Of course, she probably won't be able to benefit from much more rallies after this point, seeing as I don't want to expose anyone else to the enemies here. Maybe I should equip Goetia just to get more 1 rounds. So yeah, even against Shell, who has over 40 defense. Speaking of over 40, she's got over 40 critical percentage.
Be gone, fiend.
No, no clear on that one. But that was still pretty amazing. Oh yeah, she's a general now. I reclassed her back. Loses a lot of mobility, but oh well. Okay, now as long as only one of the warriors has counter, we should be fine here. Counter is literally the only threat to Gnar in this entire set of enemies. And unlike Manakete from earlier games in the series, she doesn't need to worry about her Dragonstone running out. Yep, see that luck stat of 50? With Arms Thrift, this means that her Dragonstones are now permanently indestructible. His warriors only do 1 damage to her is amazing. Again, like, their strength is like 46 or something insane, so...
You are awesome!
No, don't sell yourself short. You're the real awesome one here. 40 defense, which is insane. That's before Dragonstone boost, by the way.
You can do this.
Yeah, this feels a bit cheap, but really, this is kind of the main use of Gnar in this for most of this playthrough. I'm just showing off how ridiculously powerful she can be with Donnie as her father. And in fact, I'm not even showing off the strongest she can be, because she doesn't even have Gale Force in this file. Oh, yeah, that makes this even more insane. Again, also Soul, which would make her even more indestructible. You're criticaling a lot less than I expected for using Katarina's bolts.
Hey, thanks.
Just saying, you might want to pick up the slack so your waifu isn't totally outclassing you all the time. Then again, I mean, she's Gnar, she's going to be totally outclassing anyone all the time. Oh yeah, her HP's also maxed. I'm pretty sure she's going to be the first one to give one of those, most stats capped level up quotes. Yeah, I may as well just skip the longbow animations.
You can do this. Not on my watch.
Again, I really wish the champion was playing here. Now, there is one Swordmaster in this set of enemies who has a Worm Slayer. Now, he's the only one who poses a slight threat to Gnar, but only if she's been injured earlier, because even if he Astras with a Worm Slayer against her, with her enormous defense, she's not going to be taking much damage. Now, these Sages are the only ones who pose a slight threat to Gnar. They do more than 10 damage. Where Gnar is concerned, that is a threat. Oh yeah, get the crit in one time when you didn't really need it. It is a good thing to take out these Sages, though, because they are actually some of the more annoying enemies in this map, for people who aren't named Gnar. Against Donald, these Sages actually can do around 30 damage or so, they do have terrible hit rates, so I need to count on them not hitting, or no dual guarding. Seriously, this chapter should be renamed Super Dragon Massacre by now. And she still hasn't maxed everything. Okay, I have a suspicion that you are the counter warrior. So, gotta be careful there. Okay, you weren't the counter warrior. That's good.
Wow, you're terrible.
Yeah, well, non-counter warriors are kind of like that. Good, Priam's going towards Gnar. That's perfect. So yeah, like most of the AI opponents, enemies that have nobody in their attack range move last, and then rally enemies move after that, including rally movement. Speaking of rally movement, there are actually no cavalry in Priam's army at all, which, kind of interesting, that. Oh, rally strength is actually kind of scary, as is rally magic. So, there's Priam, but what I'm mostly worried about is the counter warrior. Where is he? Wait a minute. He's gone. Either he went towards the other side, or... Nah, just killed him at range. Okay, that's perfect. And yeah, max skill, speed, and luck. She's not even close to max strength and defense yet. Wow. So yeah, I don't need to worry about the counter warrior at all. Perfect. The axe breaker heroes might be people I want Lucina to take out, though. Well, that Swordmaster could be worrying. Okay, let's see which of these generals needs to die. I'm gonna go for the furthest one. You!
I've got your back.
Pavis! That's gonna make it so that Donnie doesn't actually kill him this turn.
I got you. You like dragons?
Evidently he does. You're the only one with Pavis, aren't you? No, wait, there are more of you with Pavis. Oh yeah, this guy is a beast killer, so watch out for your Targwell characters. And over here, where's the Swordmaster with the... Okay, yeah, you're the one with the Worm Slayer. I need to keep an eye on you. Also need to keep an eye on Priam, because if he goes in range of anyone who is not named Nar, they are going to die a horrible, painful death. Speaking of horrible, painful death, I want Nar to take out the Swordmasters with, at first priority. Also, speaking of a horrible, painful death, this is what happens if someone not named Nar tries to fight the enemies in this chapter. Yeah. What I want to do is I want to equip this and then switch back to Nar because I want to one-round more things. Taking out the Swordmasters first because they double pretty much everything I have. And gone. That Swordmaster did that weird, it can't be voice clip. Still not giving that voice clip. Not voice clip, level up quote. But, yeah. Incredibly bizarre, that one. Now, these sages are really dangerous, especially with a rally skill behind them. Okay, definitely want to retreat Mary soon now. Is Nar... She has lost 1 HP. Might as well heal her just in case. So the thing is, Wildheart does not like getting hit by those sages. Let me just give a brief demo of how much damage Wildheart's going to take from them. 43, yeah. Of course, anything that isn't... And notice how he's, yeah, doubling these guys. Wildheart is surprisingly fast for someone in a big, heavily armored class. You annoying... Annoying longbow snipers. They're usually the last enemies that I fight in this chapter. Apparently that's not a woods, but that is. Okay, I want most of the enemies here to attack Nar, but as long as Shell doesn't go in range of any of those magic users, she should not be too bad here. And she doesn't have rally... Yeah, she doesn't have actually any rally skills. And Wildheart has no rally skills either, but the Severa does. Would like to heal Shell though, so... Actually, wait. Firstly... No, you're maxed, so... I'd rather heal with you. You use the Recover Staff. And might as well restore 1 health. Just because I can. Now, yeah, the real question is the hero here and these enemies. You have a long-range weapon, so I need a long-range weapon of my own, which is annoying because Lucina has no long-range weapons. I could attempt to have Noir fight them. It's not a terrible idea. So yeah, I have the snipers, rangers locked in. This entire area, that's the... Oh yeah, and the warriors too. The warriors are bad too, as are the sages. Yeah, so this area here is the Jerome death zone. But Jerome's not in a death zone at the moment. At least not really in the death zone at the moment. And you can rally defense, which is awesome. And Basilio can rally strength, which is awesome. Okay, I should be fine for this turn. Well, you're still going for Donnie. If I wasn't so intent on making references, obligatory Smash Brothers references, I would name this chapter Donnie's Finest Hour, because it really is. This is really kind of the culmination of everything Donnie's done so far. He started off as just this weak little farm boy, wondered if he could make a difference. Now he's fighting the entire ridiculously powerful army of one character who prizes strength above all else, and he is just completely owning this.
Over here.
He's come so far since the days of old. I mean, seriously, remember when he struggled to fight enemies and when I had to just really go out of my way to ensure that he didn't die? Now look at him. I'm deliberately throwing him into the middle of a 50-strong army of enemies that are basically lunatic mode enemies in terms of stats.
I've got your back.
How about this? I've done it.
Of course, it's kind of a somber reminder of the fact that this series is actually coming to an end. But I'm going to have to stop talking about that, because there is Priam, and he can't hurt Nara at all. Yeah, the most powerful warrior in the world, and, young Manakete Nara is just completely impervious. Unless he Lunas. So the thing when fighting Priam is, he has Swordbreaker, Lancebreaker, and Axebreaker, so what you want to use against him are bows, magic, or stones, and we have both of those in this case. Now, the other thing about Priam is he is almost guaranteed to activate either Soul or Luna during combat. Now, what I really want is Soul. Now, the good news is Soul actually is higher on the skill priority list than Luna, so he actually has more of a chance of activating Soul than Luna. In fact, his actual Luna rate is quite low simply because of Soul. Anyway, let's just hope that he gets Soul. Because Luna's the only way he'll be able to hurt me. Oh!
This is the end.
Of course I spoke too soon. Thankfully, Dual Guard, that could have got pretty bad. Of course, with my luck, I go on about how I don't want him to get Luna, and he gets Luna right off the bat. So yeah, the thing with the skill priority list is the game rolls for skills in a set order. In the case of having both Soul and Luna, Soul is higher priority, and both of them have the same activation rate. But what that means is there is a 47% chance of him activating Soul.
How about this?
That was a 4% crit! Wow! Donald, you are broken. Actually, it's around this point that Donald starts to drop off in terms of brokenness, because, Donnie certainly
Get ready.
hits his maximum stats quickly. But once he actually does hit his maximum stats, they're a lot lower than the maximum stats of other characters, so once you've grinded up everyone else, Donnie loses a lot of his usefulness. Of course, that usefulness then transfers to his children, who are always amazing.
How about this?
But again, Donnie does still have the niche of his enormous luck stat combined with arms thrift, making it so that his weapons basically are unbreakable. Oh, I never got him to show that quote.
Aim for victory.
Anyway, double attacking at 41 damage, pretty awesome.
Get ready.
So what I was saying with Soul is that, yeah, Priam has a 47% chance of activating Soul, and then only if Soul fails to activate, the game then rolls for Luna. So the activation rate of Luna is actually more like, yeah, 53. Okay, now here's the point where things get kind of bad, and Souls are very, very useful for Donnie. I just realized this. I really need some misses or dual guards here. How many stages left? Oh, crap. Oh, freaking crap. That's a high hit rate. Okay, good, that missed. I would have preferred Soul, thank you. Okay, hopefully this gives him enough to survive the next enemy. I don't think that the Thoron guy is going to do 47 right off to him. Of course, we're immediately switching over to the other side to keep me in suspense. Ah, really? Yeah, these guys do 10 damage to Walhart. That shows how strong they are. I hate these longbow enemies so much.
My sword hand twitches.
Have you made your peace?
Of course, Luna is not a guaranteed hit. This could still miss.
Yeah.
Yep, and it did.
Watch and learn.
No, not quite, though. Owain wasn't quite strong enough. Okay, you're not the Worm Slayer guy.
I've got this. Forget it.
Hopefully, if the Worm Slayer guy Astras, Nah should still be fine. You are not the Worm Slayer guy either, and it'd be funny if you Astra'd.
All right.
But you just missed outright. You are the Worm Slayer guy. Okay, so this guy can be kind of a threat to Nar if he Astras, and thankfully he didn't. Now, hopefully, he's going to die here. And that missed. And dual guarded, good. Definitely taking him out next turn, because if he Astras, it can get into a bit of a problem. Yeah, he is actually a bigger threat than Priam on this map. And now I am very glad that Thoron is not effective against dragons in this game. In Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, Thunder Magic was effective against dragons, so that could get kind of bad if that was the case here. I might have to pull back and retreat, because if these sages get their hands on my other characters... Wow, someone actually hit her! And you are not the counter warrior, I'm pretty sure.
I've got this.
1 damage! Are you proud of yourself?
I'm tired.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense, seeing as just fighting this enormous horde of enemies, and it's not even over yet.
I've got your back.
No, I want to see more Astras from these guys. No damage Astras are always funny.
Forget it.
I still remember this one time in Path of Radiance, hey, fittingly that I'm referencing Path of Radiance here, this one time in Path of Radiance where I let Shinnen get attacked by an enemy Swordmaster with a Brave Sword, and I was completely freaking out at first, until I saw the result of that combat. No damage, miss, no damage, miss. Yeah.
Watch it! Over here!
Some enemies are not a threat even with Brave weapons. Wonder if I could recount any other Path of Radiance stories during this chapter, considering it would be an appropriate time to do so. Just trying to think of some. Oh, right, okay, here's a good one, well, actually, this is not a good one. Yeah, thankfully, he restored enough health through souls to have enough to survive this guy. But yeah, here's another good Path of Radiance story. So, I went and fought one of the very, very late game bosses who's an extremely powerful... Actually, no, wait, this is a Radiant Dawn story, not a Path of Radiance story, but it's a Radiant story anyway. One of the late game bosses is a ridiculously powerful dragon, and all of the end game bosses in that game are immune to damage that isn't from Goddess Blessed weapons. So, for some stupid reason, I thought, hey, it's going to be a good idea to attack this guy with a Worm Slayer, right? I mean, he's weak to it. And then I actually got into the combat, and it was only then that I realized, oh wait, this Worm Slayer isn't blessed. Fortunately, Edward is amazing, and so he had no trouble surviving that fight, but that was a pretty big derp on my part.
I'm with you. Not on my watch.
It's always interesting deciding which weapons to bless in that game, because you can do some pretty interesting things with that system. I mean, you don't always have to bless legendary weapons, and I forgot this guy has Axe Breaker. Yeah, this is it. Come on, Lucina. Come on, Ether. Or, Jerome could just hit with a 37% because he's amazing. I was trying to check how many enemies were left on the bottom screen there.
How about this?
With Donnie, everything is easy.
You like dragons?
Only 20 enemies left, we've taken out more than half of them. Okay, so yeah, locked in Priam, don't need to lock you in anymore because you're going to die immediately. In fact, let's get that out of the way right now, shall we? Okay, if Nah misses though, that could be bad. Actually, I should have healed her first.
You ready?
Okay, good, no miss. And wow, Nah went from like level 20 to maxed out. Yeah, this chapter is, tends to give you a lot of and wow! Yeah, Aptitude is kind of ridiculous. At this point, it's safe to just get rid of Aptitude from your skill list, because you don't really need it anymore when you've maxed out all your stats like this. Yeah, 45 defense plus 20, 65 defense! Yeah, just enough to render Priam completely ineffectual. And that strength, and just, oh, wow. I love Donnie's children so much, they're always amazing. Okay, so... Okay, what I'm actually going to do here is I am going to pull back and just lure these guys into our range without getting in range of these sages. Miniature lance equipped. Okay, let's see you. Yeah, you can't actually hit any of us there. Yeah, there's no way I can take you out without going in range of some very, very painful enemies, so I'm going to... Okay, now you can go all the way back there, but I'm not exactly bothered by that. This part of the song, I just love this part of the song so much. I actually forget the title of this song from Path of Radiance. It's one of the early map themes. It's sort of Ike's theme from Path of Radiance. Of course, most people know his theme from Radiant... Well, it wasn't even his theme from Radiant Dawn. The song that's labeled quote-unquote Ike's theme in Radiant Dawn... I'm not gonna go for... yeah, you... The song that's labeled Ike's theme in Radiant Dawn was actually just Ike's second map theme from that game. It was never really intended to be his actual theme, but, and the song was actually called Eternal Bond in its original appearance. It's still a really good song, though, and definitely associated with Ike. So I see why they used it like that. It's just a little... There are no archers left on this side. Hee hee hee. I think Jerome has free reign now. Well, mostly. Let's just see how much damage these enemies do. See, 20... 24. Wait. Alright, Sword Fair. That's why you're doing more damage than the hero. That makes sense. Sometimes I like to get rid of any remaining enemies with Noir, but I don't know if she's really going to be in range. And I don't think it's safe to put Lucina there there either, because... Though I think... it may be safe to put Lucina... Although, do you have a ranged weapon? No, you don't. Okay, maybe safe to put Lucina here. And equip the Brave Sword, because that's actually better than the Falchion. Then again, in pretty much any RPG, there's always that one weapon that's just stronger than the plot-relevant legendary sword. Always happens like that. Oh yeah, and yeah, speaking of legendary, yeah, just look at that. Wow. Not quite max on HP, but still. Okay. Rally resistance, just to be sure. And let's keep fighting.
Don't overdo it.
Again, I apologize if this video is mostly just battles, battles, and more battles, but kind of fits Priam though. And of course, you would activate Pavis. At least it's better in this game. In a lot of earlier games where that skill appeared, it actually negated. It actually negated all damage rather than just half. And it wasn't restricted to specific weapon types like it is here. It worked on everything. Yeah, in Fire Emblem 4, that was really painful because I swear, at least 70% of the bosses in that game were generals. Generals or barons, which were basically even stronger generals that could use magic. And they all had Pavis, aka Great Shield, as a class skill.
Incoming foe.
Okay, good.
Rest in peace.
He got soul that time.
Forget it. Make way.
And Priam is almost down. Lucina, why have you not activated Ether yet? In my practice run of this, you activated Ether pretty much every single combat. Of course, that's basically the law with practice runs. You always get better skill activations there. And now I would really... Of course, you get Ignis, not Ether. Ether actually has higher... Well, I mean, it's got less of an activation chance, but... Wait a minute, does it? Is Ignis also skill over 2? I'll have to check. Ether does have a higher activation priority than Ignis, though, so, I hate longbows. Okay, that's interesting. Nice one.
Just getting started.
Someone should make a soul count for this chapter, because there's been a lot of souls on both sides here. But at least one of the longbow snipers has wandered into an area where I can take him out with someone who doesn't have to remain stationary. Don't think that spell just hits their flank. I think it hits their everything. So it's more like your everything is exposed. Actually, I'm kind of worried of Garius breaking that term. Worried of, yeah, that's English. So much dragon destruction.
You ready?
I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. And yeah, 70% chance of hitting a max speed swordmaster with an axe is actually pretty insane. So, that just shows how ridiculous Donald is by this point.
Now strike.
Of course, a swordmaster having a max skill swordmaster only having a 64% chance of hitting is absolutely pathetic. Which shows just how good Nar is.
Let's do this.
And axe breaker.
You like dragons?
Might have to clean up these guys with Lucina later. Wow, she actually broke her lance from dual striking.
You ready?
Yep, +1 to the soul count.
Not on my watch.
You know, I just realized something. I'll do this on the next enemy phase, which I think will probably be the last one. Only 9 enemies left, so yeah. How many turns was that? 5 turns! Yeah, this... Wow, we've almost eliminated 50 enemies in 5 turns. That's kind of ridiculous, with just 2 pair-ups. Well, most of that's just the enemies being suicidal, but yeah, I'm kind of exploiting their AI. They love to focus all of their attention on one character until that character goes down. Hey, actually, Lissa can go all the way here.
Have my gratitude.
Oh, I hate it when you get 99 experience. It's always the worst feeling. Speaking of the worst feeling, Basilio kind of should have brought a... Wait a minute, Flavia has a hammer, doesn't she? That actually used to be Basilio's, didn't it? I get the feeling it actually was. Which is kind of amusing.
I got your back.
It's always annoying when these guys activate
Hell no.
Pavese against hammer strikes. Because that reduces the damage by a lot. He just did, but he still died.
Predictable.
As you can see, Basilio's a berserker now. Okay. Hey, 100% chance of hitting. Should probably capitalize on that.
I got you.
So at least the other characters are getting some screen time. The other guy's like, no, no, I don't want to play, I don't want to play, no! And shot. In my last run at this, of course, max speed. Noir ended up maxing her speed. You also have Axe Breaker, so I'm going to take you out with the sword. Wow, exactly enough damage too, nice. In before this guy actually has Pavese for some random reason. That would be a massive troll move. But yeah, Pavese is nowhere near as much of a troll move as it was in Fire Emblem 4, where basically every single boss had it, and it negated all damage.
How about this?
Okay, that is a perfect attack for Donnie to end the battle on. How many left? 5. Okay, who wants to take this archer? Who wants the archer? You know what? I haven't actually used Stalin Sully for a while. Of course, they're probably not going to finish it off, but might as well go for it.
And one for me. Try me on the guys.
Oh, wow, not quite. Okay, now who wants to finish off the archer? Any takers? Any takers? Okay, let's see the range of all of the other enemies. Okay, I don't think anyone will be able to get Maribel if she went over here. You know what? Even though the odds are in my favor, I'm not risking that. I definitely, I'm not one to take on if they miss, they die combats. This is much more to my liking. And that puts the waifu and husband or pair on equal levels. Got a lot more magic than Brady, but he's much more fragile. And yeah, I forgot to mention Lawrence a sage now. He has a unique outfit as a sage. Not outfit, just color palette. Okay, now somebody needs to use a physics staff. You know what? Okay, from here... Can Fortify reach? Yes, it can. This basically covers half the map by this point. I'm actually kind of glad that Fates, from what I've heard, has actually put a cap on the range of long-range staves. That actually does make a lot of sense. I mean, because here you can basically have... Well, not exactly the full map, but so much that it's not really necessary to... And you're nowhere near close to breaking Goetia. Let's finish you off. Funny, your arch is going to last longer than you do. But we've proved to Priam that we're good, and from that we get both a secret book and a goddess icon. Now all that's left is a bunch of longbow snipers. Switch over. And may as well try and bring Olivia over here. Because sadly, these three are going to be cowards and all use their longbows, and so we won't actually finish the chapter this turn. Yeah, I hate longbow snipers. Oh, Crom can't quite get in Quange or some weird mangling of words like that. But Walhart can.
We are stronger. Stand up and fight! You are safe.
Walhart would probably be impressed that this guy actually survived an ether. Not an ether. Walhart with ether. Wow, that's a scary thought. And that's a lot of experience points, considering that Walhart went to a little over level 10 in Great Knight, 30 Conqueror, 10 Great Knight back into Conqueror, and he's still getting a huge amount of experience points per kill. I kind of want him to finish off all three of these remaining enemies now, but guess I could try and have Gary Stu do it. Then again, yeah, he's fine. Actually, I can use Celica's Gale. Celica's Gale is one of the most useful magic tomes in the game later on, especially in Apotheosis.
Amateur.
Of course, they might be impressive to Walhart, but to Gary Stu, these guys are amateurs.
Game over.
And he's gonna really rub it in. 1 health, Ignis, yeah, massive overkill there.
Just as planned.
Okay, can I get to you this turn? Okay, let's see. I actually don't think I can. Wait a second. Where is... where's the Vake? Okay. Rally movement. Okay, now can I get to you? Put Mary Sue there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I think I can get to you. Gotta be careful here, because losing Mary Sue to the last enemy on the map would be absolutely painful after I've come this far. And with that... hopefully, Crom can end this, except he doesn't have enough speed to double. So yeah, hopefully Crom can finish this. And he's back as a Great Lord like he should be.
I will not fail.
I knew he was going to say I will not fail. For some reason, I just knew it.
Gotcha.
And goodbye, Archer.
Thank you.
And with that... of course, they're the heroes. That makes perfect sense.
Not bad.
And with that, we've impressed Priam, so he's going to join us. To find out more about Priam, click on the annotation.
Good. No.
We'd be happy to have you, except for the fact that only the final chapter's left to do in the game. Yeah, if you don't get the DLC, there really isn't all that much to actually do with Priam. He's more kind of a bragging right, since this chapter is basically the hardest one in the base game. So, once you've beaten it, there really isn't much left to do except totally trivialize the final chapter. But I mean, I guess Priam can be useful for doing that. Again, he suffers from the problem of only being able to support with one person. But, just like Ike, Priam, I'm not going to say the quote, but he's a true inspiration and a friend to everyone in his army. Wow, those people are all from all over the world. Then again, Ike's army was pretty multinational as well.
You're on.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna challenge all of them. That's gonna take a while. Then again, considering how strong Priam is, most likely they're all gonna go, they're just gonna pick up the weapons and then they're gonna, and then, great ether, and then next. Yeah, we're only the Smash Brothers style of fighting is the, yeah, only fighting left. With that, the chapter is over. Though I might actually want to do a quick, actual save of progress here and actually show what Priam's stats actually look like. I know I didn't do that with the others, but I just want to show one thing that's kind of significant and very, very annoying, proving that the AI is an annoying, dirty cheater. Because where is he? I'm going to have to scroll down a lot, but there's Priam. So you'll notice here, his speed is not maxed. Yeah, his stats are a bit higher as an enemy than they are as playable. Not only that, but he's magically gained a Tomahawk, and Ragdoll has magically lost its durability for no good reason. Yeah. So it only has 25 durability. Thankfully, actually, let me just check something. Does he even have Arms Thrift? Where are you, Priam? There you are. He does not come with Arms Thrift. That's interesting. So if you want him to learn Arms Thrift, you'll actually have to demote him back to Mercenary. So that's actually good to know. But at least we have Priam, Descendant of the Radiant Hero, on our side. And with that, we've completed every single paralog. We can also buy longbows, short spears, short axes, and noble rapiers now, which is going to be really useful. But yeah, with that, we've completed every last paralog, and that means the entire map here is white, except for one point. There's only one thing left to do. Join us next time, where we take care of one quick matter before we actually fight Grima. Sorry to put it off, but I have to do this. I did promise there will be no DLC in this playthrough, but I do want to show off something. Here in the Outrealm Gates, there is a map called Hot Spring Scramble. This map gives conversations to all of the Spot Pass characters, and it's really crucial to the actual development of a lot of them. I will be doing a bonus video where I just show those conversations and that's all. After that, then it's on to take on Grima. We're approaching the end. So, I'll see you guys next time.